What's going on? It's your boy Zillionaire. You know, the big time celebrity bodyguard working with all the big name celebrities. And also the truth speaker, the guy that makes everybody mad, especially in our community. Nobody wants to hear the truth, especially the women in our community. There's an agenda that needs to be called out. Zillionaire is the one for the job. He's the man that's called and chosen to call out this punk-ass black man agenda. Yes, this agenda where they want to emasculate black men and destroy us, another form of genocide. But I'm also going to break down why black women are helping push this agenda of destroying their own men. Okay, they're help pushing this agenda. Okay, and the reason why they're helping push this agenda because these new age black women, they want to have power over black men. Okay, they want power over us, which is out of order, out of line. It's not what God called for relationship in the family structure. Okay, that's number one. But we're going to get into all that in a minute. Now, there's three forms of destroying black men. Number one is imprisonating us, throwing us in jail, throwing us in prison. Number two, us dead, killing us. Number three is emasculation. So these are the forms: jail, prison, emasculation. As we already see in hip-hop culture, how they emasculate young black men. They're being emasculated, they're being indoctrinated, they're having their manhood taken for fame and success. Okay, this is the agenda. These are the forces behind the real agenda. When y'all get outside of the matrix, you know, because the internet is programmed. They tell us what y'all want to see, what y'all want to hear. They give you imagery. They give you messages to make you believe that it's okay for black men to be weak, sissies, punks, cowards, simps, mama boys, and all that other stuff. If you notice, they have a movement called toxic masculinity, where they have a group of black women talking about masculine men are toxic. That's number one. Which is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. They try to say masculine men are toxic, but then they claim they want to be protected. I'm going to say it again. They say masculine men are toxic, but then they turn around and say they want to be protected. Number one, only a masculine man can protect you. An effeminate man, a weak man, a punk man, a sissy man, a simp, he is not capable of protecting his women. Okay, but they get with sissy punks and weak men, they have babies by them, and then they raise sissy son husbands. This is why we have the generation of sissy thugs. A bunch of punk, sissy, coward men. A lot of these guys are down low, messing with each other, claim to be thugs. They out here shooting and killing. They have female emotionalism. Dr. Shiraza Ali talked about this 30 years ago, about how in these single mother homes that's being pushed by society and everybody else, how young black men are growing up with female emotionalism. So we have a bunch of young black men raised by a bunch of masculine single mothers. They want to be a thug out here in the streets with female emotionalism, acting like a punk and acting like a thug on the street. Okay. And as we know, that one of the biggest agendas with the single mother homes is get the black man out of the house, okay? Black women chose welfare and the system over their men. And this generational curse has been passed down. It's systematic. Yes, it's very systematic, but it's also, how can I put it, a choice, okay? It's this systematic, but these black women also have made a choice to be against their men, okay? So now we have the generation of sissy thugs now. Just a whole big old generation of sissy thugs. Listen to the music, sissy thug generation. Overly emotional young boys, really. They're not even men, but they're young. They're supposed to be young men, but they're not. So this is what we see. Now, we see a lot of new age black women with a bunch of punk-ass homeboys. You have fugazi friends. I seen a video the other day where a black woman and a fugazi guy, they jumped a black man in the store. Her and her fugazi friend. If you notice, if you're a black man on any podcast, speaking any truth, calling out the behavior of this generation of women, you get attacked. You get persecuted. You get, how can I put it? People don't like you all of a sudden. They get mad because you're supposed to follow after what everybody's saying on the internet, not to hold these women accountable. Okay? And I'm calling out this generation. And I'm calling out this punk ass man agenda that black women are help pushing. You'll never see black women on the internet talking about they need strong father figures. You won't find a video. You will not find a blog. You won't find a vlog. You won't find anything where black women are saying we need strong father figures. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it because that's not what they want. They voice their opinion on everything else they want, but you don't hear them crying out for strong father figures, for husbands, for, strong men in the household. They're not calling for that. That's not what they want. They want to be in control. They want to dominate black men. They help push this emasculating agenda against us because they want power over us. That's where the Jezebel spirit comes in. Okay, that Jezebel spirit, like Jezebel in the Bible. Her husband was king of Israel. And he was so much of a weak simp and a punk, he let her run the kingdom. And it ultimately collapsed. Okay. God did not choose men to be weak, punks, sissies, and cowards. He did not call us to be punk-ass men. He did not call us to be messing around with other men. He did not call us to allow women to control us, manipulate us, and dominate us. We're supposed to be the leaders. We're supposed to be the rocks in the house. We hold stuff down. We are the protectors. Okay? All right? We're supposed to help provide in the household. We're supposed to be teachers, leaders. That's what we're called to be. But this is not what this generation of new age black women want. They want to control, manipulate, dominate. Control, manipulate, dominate. Because that's all they want to do because they want to get what they want to get. But then these new age black women claim they love God, but they don't want to live by his word. You won't hear nobody else talk about God more than black women, but they do not live by his word. They do not believe in the order of family and relationship that God called us to. Okay, black women believe and say they follow, praise, and worship God because they want something from God. They're not actually doing it because they love God. They want God to be a genie in a bottle. They want God to give them what they want. They want to snap their fingers and think that God is supposed to jump when they ask God to jump. That's what they actually think God is. It don't work like that. Following after the things of God is a way of life and following his word. Okay, and this is why a lot of women, their relationships are cursed. They have all these multiple men, by all these babies, by all these different men. This is why they're on the internet crying in their late 30s and 40s, talking about they're lonely. This is why they claim they can't find no good men. This is why they're going through all of this craziness. This is why we have passport bros where a lot of black men are getting women from other countries and overseas. They're sick of this generation of black women. They're sick of this generation of new age Americanized women. They're tired of it. Sick of it. So they're going overseas and getting women who are more feminine and understand their role as a woman. See, a man has a role just like a woman has a role, but a woman's role is not to be in a masculine position. A man's role is not to be in an effeminate, feminine position. Everything is out of order, especially in the black community. Black women are help pushing this agenda because this Jezebel spirit that's running rampant in the black community among our women. And they even raising little punk-ass Jezebel boys. Boys is Jezebels too. Raising little sissy son husband Jezebels who are just as manipulative and overly emotional like their mothers. That same generational spirit is passed down into their daughters and their sons. Okay? And they wonder why our community is like the most cursed community. Yes, the black community is the most cursed community because 80% of our family homes are single mother homes. Anytime the family structure is destroyed, you have a destroyed community. But when you're working against your men, when a man is a leader and he's putting his foot down and he's calling the shots, they don't like that. They work against it. So how can you work against your men and expect God to bless you? How can you want to be in control of a man and think that God's going to bless your relationship? How are you going to rebel against the order of family relationship and expect God to bless you? How can you help push the agenda of emasculating and this punk-ass black man generation we got going on now? God, in the word of God, every time he called a man, he said, be strong and be courageous. Every man of God he called, he told him to be strong. Be strong, I'm with you. Be strong. We're supposed to be strong and courageous men. We're not supposed to be punks, weak simps, and cowards. We're not supposed to be following after no woman. Ain't no woman supposed to be running us. But if you look in the black community, we have a generation full of masculine women, effeminate men, and we say that's okay. Everybody said that's okay. We see a bunch of out of control black women, a bunch of sissy punk boys, and we think that's okay. We got a generation of sissy thugs out here shooting and killing each other, a bunch of masculine young girls out here being violent and ignorant and disgusting, but we say that's okay. We have a generation of music where black men, all they talk about is shooting, being sissy thugs, shooting and killing each other. We have a generation of young women bragging about being hoes and selling coochie, and we say that's okay. Everything is out of order in the black community, and this is just what the status quo wanted. When I say the status quo, I mean the powers that be, wicked, spiritual, wicked people in higher places that have a certain agenda that they want to embark on our society. And the black community is one of the biggest targets because they don't want us to have strong men as leaders. They don't want us to have the family structure. They don't want us to come together and unify. Because if they do that, we'll be the most powerful community on earth. That's why they don't want black men to be strong leaders. That's why they use black women against black men. This is why. Because they understand if they ever get it together, they will be the most powerful community on planet Earth. But you have a group of women who could care less about anybody but themselves. They only want what they want. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Take. They either want some ding-a-ling or a man with some money, or ding-a-ling and use a man for some money. It's either one or the other, you know. And this is the society we live in. You can't teach our women. Anytime you can't correct these women, you can't teach them. You can't show them the right way. You can't show them the light. You can't tell them when they're wrong. You can't call out their behavior. This is what they tell black men we can't do. And black men fall for it on every channel. I'm looking at these channels. A lot of guys is falling back from their message because people are telling them what they can and cannot say to this generation of women. Telling them what they can and cannot say to the black community. This is the truth. This is a punk-ass black man agenda. We're the target. You get rid of us. Emasculate us. Destroy us. Throw us in prison. Take our manhood, and then we could take over the black community. They've been doing it for decades. Shiraza Ali, she prophesied the downfall of the black community years ago. She said anytime you have a group of black women that's working against black men, you're going to have a society that's going to collapse. Look at the black community. It's sad. It's pathetic. It's pitiful. Pitiful. I grew up in an age where there were men. I grew up in an age where there were men. They were men. They taught me to be a man. I had uncles, grandfather, father, OGs on the street. They taught you how to be a man, whether you were doing wrong or right. We were taught to be men. You didn't see a bunch of loudmouth, violent women just hauling off, punching men in the face. You didn't see a bunch of women, just disrespecting the men and being ignorant. You may have saw that every now and then. You rarely saw that. You rarely saw black women back in the day just punch men in the face and cuss them out in public. And you didn't see that because they knew not to do that. This generation of black women, they're taught to this independent bull crap. They're the only group of women that are taught to be independent of their men. Stupid. Dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. No other group of women, you hear them say, I'm strong and independent. Stupid. These women say I'm strong and independent, which is bull crap, because a lot of y'all got kids. Your kids need fathers. Y'all going to need protection. You're going to need leadership. You're going to need provision. So that's the stupidest thing to say. And then they want to go online and cry and say they need help with bills. They go online and cry, talking about they need a man. They go online crying in their later years, talking about I messed up on good men. I messed over on some good men. Oh, where's the good men at? You had plenty of good men that y'all looked over. You had plenty of good men that were right there, and now they're gone. You should have seized the moment. Plenty of good men out here. They got excuses for everything they do. And every agenda, they don't look to benefit with their men. They're looking for their own benefits and wonder why they are going through what they're going through in this generation. Wonder why their relationships are cursed. Wonder why everything else around them is falling apart. You cannot work against the men that God called you to work with. It's not going to work. Men, we're supposed to be strong, powerful men on this earth. We're supposed to be strong, powerful, God-fearing men, not weak-ass men being controlled, manipulated, and dominated by women. This is why the black community is out of control. This is why black women are help pushing this agenda. And it's sad. They want to be in control of us. They don't want to work with us. They want to control us and dominate us and wonder why things are not working in their life. I'm your boy Zillionaire. Put your thoughts in the comments. I have a bunch of new videos really going to piss y'all off because it's the truth. I'm out of here.